focusing now? Where am I best in focus? The problem is if I lean over to do the focus, I can't do the focus because I'm leaning over there, aren't I, you chuffer? But I'm out of focus again, you chuffer. Got the kilobytes though now. Got those pumping out, kilobytes pumping out. I haven't even opened up Twitch, hang on. Are we actually streaming? I haven't even opened up Twitch. You always need to open up Twitch when you're streaming. Let's open up Twitch and see if I appear there live, just streaming. I am, look, I'm just there, I'm streaming, brilliant. Twitch and see if I appear there live. Yeah, okay. And let's go to my creator dashboard so that I can pop out my chat. Let's do that. Pop out chat. You've been popped. Why do I look so out of focus? All I did was turn the computer off and on again. We had Mars the Bringer of War. It was brilliant, wasn't it? We had Mars the Bringer of War. Now we haven't got that. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. Poor old Mars the Bringer of War. That's been toughed off. Look all right on the remote viewer here. I don't look out of focus here. Look fine here. Out of focus now. Definitely more focus when I go over there. All right, hang on. We'll try something. You'll see the inner workings. Right, let me see if I can do this. So you need to see the microphone in shot first of all, don't you? There's that mic. That's where that's me. And that's sort of my hand about where I normally am. And then if I just focus on my hand like this, see how tight the focal range is? Really tight, isn't it? That'll do. And I sit down, I should be all right now, shouldn't I? No, it's worse. Is it worse? It's worse. I've made it worse. Just do it like this, look, lean over. Focus on the microphone a bit. There we go, that's me. Made it worse again. Made it worse. Oh, can't anything work for me today, eh? It is Thursday. It's not even meant to have Monday, it's Thursday. Look, come on, you chuffer. This isn't even that hard. That's where my face goes. That's focused on my face. This is my face. See? It's not even that hard, is it? It's not even that hard. Just sort yourself out. Didn't have a shave today. Got the old grey beard on the go. We're bus driving simulating. We are bus driving simulating. That's what we're doing. Let's go into Nintendo Switch. Now, you see, look, it's all thrown me out now. I had this all prepared. I had Mars, the bringer of... I was going to put on this really cool music. We get DMCA'd for it, but let's try and do it now as well. Let's do it now. Let's have Twitch in a separate window. This is all the stuff that goes on in my head before we start streaming. But I had to reset the computer, didn't I? Because the kilobytes. And you notice it worked. Now we're getting full kilobyte pumpage. We're pumping out those kilobytes, spewing them out. We're chuffing out those kilobytes now into the world. Weren't before for some reason, just because the computer wanted to be turned off and on again. Right, let's, in my browsing history, I should have Mars, shouldn't I now? Because it just was there. Bruno Mars, no, Mars the Bringer of All, you chuffer. Right, let's see if we can get that going again. That's an advert. You don't want to watch the advert. I'll watch the advert for you in the background. 3, 2, 1, click. Skip ads. Skip ads. It's like a mini game, isn't it? 1, 2. Right, now you should be able to hear that desktop audio there. Should be an increasingly severe volume, increasingly volumatic, increasingly loud. It should get louder. And what it is it's Mars the Bringer of War. It's going to get us copyright. So enjoy this bit, which won't get in the edit for YouTube. I probably won't even edit this at all for YouTube. I'll probably just bung it up on my channel and just, you know, live with the fact that the Chicago Philharmonic Orchestra can copyright this ancient music. It's not ancient, is it? It's just old. Look, anyway. We've got Mars the Bringer of War. Let me just skip that onto the good bit for you, because the effective bit. Needs to go. Dun, dun, bus driver simulator. That was the effect I was going for. Need to get a new hat, don't I, for the bus driving, because Johnny Depp's hat is just not appropriate. Why has my chat disappeared? There's chat. Oh, it's only little, isn't it? Oh, I've moved the bus driving simulator now. Let's move the chat. I don't know where I'm going to want it. because I don't know where the I don't know where the old heads-up display is going to be for this one. This is new to us. Got this. I'm going to do some talking, and you're just going to have to enjoy it. Don't care. We're not driving the bus yet. I'm just going to do some talking first before we get driving a bus. I got this for £2.50 on this Nintendo Switch sale. It's on sale now, £2.50. And I don't know if that's a bargain or not. Because I told my friend, I've got a friend who I talk to regularly, and she is not an avid gamer. So some of the concepts are new to her. And when I told her that I was going to be playing Bus Driver Simulator today on the phone, she laughed at me and said, "But you don't like driving your car?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I don't like driving my car. Have you noticed I'm a bit more magenta today? A bit more magenta today. Oh no, I've just put a little filter on the old camera, just magenta. Look, anyway, I told her, and she was like, "You don't like driving your car?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it'll make for a good stream, won't it? Because Limmy. What should I do his voice? Is it racist to do a Scottish voice? I am British. Scotland is part of Britain. It's just like a regional accent for me, isn't it? But then again, it's another nation, isn't it? And I'm English and they're Scottish, so it might be racist. But then I'm doing an impression of Limmy, so that's okay. But then in 20 years' time, people might come back and be like, "Oh, look, he did an impression of someone from a different nation. That's racist." I don't know. But, I just want to say Limmy. I'm doing it. Limmy show. Driving the... All right, look, I'm not going to try and do the whole thing in Limmy's voice, in Scottish. I'm not going to try and do that. Because I don't know if it's racist or not, and I definitely don't want to be racist. It's confusing, isn't it, these days? Definitely if you did, if I did an accent of someone who was from, say, Nigeria, like a Nigerian streamer, and I tried to do their accent, it might come across as being quite racist, mightn't it? But for some reason, Scotland, if I tried to do an American voice, I'm not sure all the Americans would be racially offended, would they? Depending on how I did the voice. And I suppose there's so many voices, aren't there? You can do like Texan, or you could do what other voices, like Texas we know about because of Cowboys, but the other voices I'm not so sure about. I don't mean voices, do I? I mean a different word. I mean accents, that's the word, accents. So anyway, we're not doing that, but Limmy does, because he's actually Scottish, so he is actually Scottish, and he talks in a Scottish voice, and he drives his little bus and his other games, and people seem to like it. I've come to this through, I used to be an ASMR artist, didn't I, on YouTube? Well, you say that. I've made some ASMR videos on YouTube, and so some people might think, oh, nice relaxing content, driving the bus, could listen to this at bedtime. Nigel listens to us at bedtime, so, this might be good for that. But then on the other hand, I might not be able to keep it in the nice speaking. Oh, I'm peaking in the red, aren't I? What am I doing here? Already leaning in, peaking in the red. 1 2 1 2. I've got it turned up maximum on there. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Got the new little desk thing. It's all good, isn't it? All good. Keep my voice in check. So I could talk nicely and calmly, but it's the middle of the day for me, and I'm excited about Bus Driver Simulator. So I was saying to my friend, it's about driving a bus around, and she didn't. It's not one of those games that's all action, is it? No spoilers. There's not going to be a lot of action, I hope, because I don't want to crash the bus. Ideally, we don't want a lot of action, do we? Let's see. Right, now I'm going to press play. Tutorial, career scenarios. Oh gosh, I didn't expect there to be options. Do I need a tutorial for driving the bus? What do you think? What do you think at home? What do you think in the comments? Leave a like and subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments. Comments. Yeah, tutorial. So let's have a look. Learn how to drive a bus and get... Oh, you see already my face is in the way. Get category... Oh, a licence. Yeah, well, I'll get that then. Because we'll need a licence for driving the bus, won't we? We can't just fucking... Did I swear? No, I tried to say fuffing and chuffing at the same time, and it sounded like a swear. You can't just get straight in chuffing driving a bus. You've got to have a licence. So, yeah, I'll choose tutorial. Well, no, doesn't seem like I will. What's going on? Start. Oh, X is start there. X is start. Okay. Have to look at the controller every time, despite having played on the Super Nintendo controller since I was quite young. I've probably played on this controller more times than I've been out drunk. I've stopped drinking now about 5 years ago, so don't even drink at all. Having a nice cup of tea. But yeah, probably played on this controller. And I've forgotten where X was. So now I've pressed it. Haven't I? Pressed it now. Come on, you chuffer. What's going on? I have to just move the thing. X is start. I've got X. Oh look, it doesn't. You have to hold it all the way to make sure. The longest intercity route is situated in Australia. That's gone. That's gone. So that was a little nice bit of bus bus trivia. Let's just hang on. Look, bus stop 1, bus stop 2. I've got my sat nav over there, so I'm going to need to be looking at that. I also quite like driving in third person on games like this, but maybe we should stick to the. I don't know. Maybe we should. I'm going to need to look at my wing mirrors, aren't I? Maybe you need to go up there, but then I can't read the words. We'll get you up there and we'll make you a thin sliver. You're going to just be a thin sliver, look. It's going to make you little up there. There's you, chat. It's embarrassing if no one chats while you're on stream and you have it recording on your edit above your face. It's embarrassing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it off. And now what I'll do is I'll start talking to you in chat. Like, oh, do you think so, chat? I really chat. And then when people watch the edit, they'll think there's all people talking in his chat. But of course, it's not a problem to me if no one chats, as long as you're here. As long as you're here, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. As long as you watch it on YouTube later, that's the main thing, isn't it? As long as you subscribe to my Patreon, and that's the main thing. The people that were here, they've gone. So I managed to get rid of them. So that's good. But I edit this and put it on YouTube, so it's always good. Look, welcome to the game called Bus Driver Simulator. Would you like to know what it feels like at the bus driver's seat? Do you know what? To be honest, no, I wouldn't. There's going to be some talking. There's going to be some big face. There's going to be some talking. You know, there's going to be quite a bit of talking in this. Get the big face window all sorted. Would you like to know what it feels like to be in the bus driver's seat? No. No, I've been on the bus when I was a kid, going to school and from school. Didn't like it. Didn't like the bus. Felt... it was one of my anxieties, the bus was. Always felt anxious about the bus. Mainly for missing it. And it used to, in our town, if you... Oh, dropped to me. In our town, if you missed... Your bus come right outside school. But if you weren't out there right out school at the right time, you could always walk down into the main bit of town and get the bus there. Because it goes from the school to the main bit of town onto the route. And the cool kids, you know, the cool kids want to go into town. They walk into town, spend a little bit of extra time, catch the bus at the main bit. And, you know, as you're like, oh, I'm going to walk into town and get the bus. That's cool. But what you do is that's the second chance to get it, isn't it? There's a third chance at the end of town, at the bottom end of town. Third chance to get the bus if you miss it. So what we used to do is we used to ignore the first one. Oh, I'm too cool for that. I'm going to walk into town. Walk into town, do a bit of messing about, wait at the bus stop, catch the second stop. And if you missed it, you think, oh, chuff, and I've got a chuffing run to the other end of town because I've got one more chance to get it. And if you miss that, you're not going home, are you? So the stress of that. And in the mornings, getting the bus in the mornings, I used to live in this awful little village. A lovely little village, but not good for the bus. And sometimes you'd go and sit at the bus stop and literally just wouldn't turn up. And then what? The bus didn't come. And you'd always be told, oh, it's your fault because you were late for the bus, you're naughty. But quite often I'd think, I'm not naughty. I don't think it turned up. And sometimes it'd turn up and just go past you. So quite often I had a problem on the bus. Wasn't a good bus rider. So that wasn't always fun for me. And then seeing the fella driving it, or the lady, you know, not being the patriarchal scumbag here, are we? I'm an open-minded, futuristic concept. You know, it doesn't matter who's driving it. They could have long hair, short hair, whatever. The person driving, I've got long hair and short hair underneath, so I've got both. Look, the person driving it looked like they were having a right mare of a time to me every time. They have to drive that bus around, and all the kids are yabbing and chuffing around and stopping and starting the bus every time someone dings the bell. And we were dinging that bell just left, right and centre. You know, we always have to get on and off at the stops. They might as well just stop. They don't need a bell. Just get on. You know, I'm going to stop anyway. Just don't press the bell. Forget it. And it wasn't very clean. We had a bit of fun sometimes. As I got older, we had a bit more fun. But then that sort of fun would be the sort of fun that the bus driver would be cross with. So I don't envy the bus driver, really. And then we've had the COVID, haven't we? We've had the chuffing COVID. Oh no, the bad COVID. So during the bad COVID, the poor bus drivers have had it bad. They were like a third more likely to catch the old COVID because they were driving the chuffing bus. So that's a right chuffer. So would I like to know what it feels like at the bus driver's seat? I imagine it's warm, sweaty. I imagine the upholstery on the bus driver's seat is that leather-esque but plastic material. Not dissing it actually, because it's better than real leather, dead animals. But you'd want to sit on dead animals. But the seat's sticky and warm. So would I like to know what it feels like? No. I can imagine that. Clammy by now. If you're ready to start, not warm anymore, clammy. If you're ready to start the tutorial, press the A button. All right. There's your introduction. Do you want to hear Mars the Bringer of War again? How am I going to do that? Look, honestly, when I started, I don't look at the viewers very often because it's not even correct. It says 1 viewer, and sometimes I turn off the stream and it's been like, 6 viewers really. And I'm like, why did you only tell me 1? But this time it's only saying there's you here, just you. And you might be that bot that gets put out by Devin Nash to everyone's stream. You might be that bot. But I did have 3 when I started, and all this talking's put you off. Well, you can't help. What am I going to do? Got to be me, haven't I? If you don't like it, well, you can't chuff off. You've already chuffed off. I'm not even talking to you. You've already gone. Do you want to see me driving the bus? It's too late. You've gone. So look, when you're watching this back on YouTube, you're going to think, why doesn't he just get... And you're just going to skip past this, aren't you? So you'll be fine. Do you like the magenta face? Do you like that? My magenta face. Should I change the setting? After a while of seeing it, I've decided I don't like it. Do you want to see it in a different colour? That's green. Makes me look a bit like I've been soaked in pee. This is just the blue things. Look, my jacket's blue, my top's blue. Just the blue things. Just the green things. Well, all the hat should be, but for some reason it's not all coming up. Just the red things, nothing. Nothing's red. Not even my face. Why is your face red, man? You wasted. That's toy green again. Magenta, you see? That's magenta. That's what we look like. Or we could just go cool. That's kind of blue. Cool. Cool blue. You just turn it off. Anyway. They really want to see me drive the bus. I'm building it up. So, I'm building it up and making it... when you go and watch a band, that's the web browser. There's nothing there. I haven't even got the web browser open. Nintendo Switch. When you go and watch a band, yeah? And where am I my face going to go? My face should go here where I'm driving the bus, like Limmy does, shouldn't it, really? But I'm facing the wrong sort of way. I know. It's a bit weird. My face go over here so I can look into the frame. Like that. When you go and watch a band, yeah, you pay your ticket money for this band. There's always another band on underneath, isn't there? Like a secondary band that you don't really pay your ticket money to go and see, but you go and watch them anyway because you're forced to. And you get in and you're excited, and then the first band plays, and you don't really need to see them, so you don't really need to be there. You don't need to be in the arena. You might go to the bar, you might not these days. Now you're me, but you mess about a bit, you chat to your friends, you pop in for a few songs and have a listen. Maybe judge them, judge it, you naughty judging, doing your judging, and decide what you think of them, and then they finish. And then there's a break while they change all the instruments and mess about, and they put on a bit of music. That's this bit now. I'm not the support act. I'm the bit of music before. I'm the exciting bit where you're trying to make sure you've got your space for you, because when the band comes on, the lights go down. You want to be ready in there. That's me now. Do you want to feel like what it's in the bus driver's seat? Here we go then. You can change the current camera by pressing the R stick. Some cameras allow you to change the view angle. Passenger compartment camera can be moved by pressing directional buttons. Try to do it now. What? So R stick. Okay, that's that. I can't wiggle it around. I can just change it. Oh, that's the back of the bus. If you want to make sure. Oh, that's the one that you can wiggle around. Right, there we go. That's wiggling. Is that my bus? Can't see it now. Is that my bus? What a little chuffer of a bus to start on, eh? Is that the one you take your test in? Just a little chuffer. Because when you get on the real world in the big buses, that ain't gonna. That's just like. I've driven work vans that are bigger than that. That's not even a proper. But it hangs out the back as well, doesn't it? Look, hangs out the back. It looks imbalanced to me. If you get a few heavy chuffers on the back there, it's gonna tip over, isn't it? Get a few heavy chuffers. If everyone sits on the back, and when you get on the bus after school, first thing you do is run to the back, don't you? The first people, the best people. The best people sit furthest at the back for some reason. Furthest away from the driver. the naughtiest people sit furthest at the back. I used to sit at the back. Anyway, look, the back. If you get all the people on the back first, it's going to tip over. What about if they put their luggage on? What if they've got heavy luggage? It's going to tip over, isn't it? I suppose the engine's in the front. That's a heavy element, isn't it? The engine's probably in the front, right underneath my feet. So if we have an accident, I'm the first one to get maimed. And little yellow stripe. It's got no markings other than that. It doesn't say, public bus this, route this. It's just a little ugly square box, isn't it, with some wheels. Nice one big wing mirror on the one side, and then a sort of perky little cheeky one on my side. Wonder why they've gone for that. The asymmetric wing mirror look. So that's our bus. You can have a look at it by pressing that. Oh, and then, now in the passenger compartment camera, it can be moved by pressing the directional buttons. Oh, hello. Alert down there. Look at that. They give you full... You can have a right look. If you dropped your money down there, mate. Is that your ticket down there, mate? You'll need that. Can you pick that up for me, mate? Keep a clean bus around here, mate. Look, you can have a right look. Used to be all sorts of, on the back of the seats, scratched graffiti, stuck chewing gum. Where's all that? Beautifully clean bus. The seats, very thin, uncomfortable looking seatage, aren't they? That one, you've got the wheel arch, so you have your feet up in a crampy position there. Not good design. And very thin, very thin. We'll make you pay for your whole seat, but you'll only need the edge of it. Very thin seats there. If you get a full load of football fans on this bus, I used to go to the football, and I used to be a young little boy, and the adult football fans, all with their big beer bellies, full of beer, and I'd be squished in all the time, squished in. If you get a load of football fans on here, where are they all going to sit? They're going to want a seat. You're going to get two. Your Eddie Halls of this world. Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man. Me old mate, me old mucker Eddie Hall. He's not going to fit on that. He's going to have to sit there. But you put a post in the way, so he's going to have to just sort of perch here. You won't get through that. You won't get through the aisle. Eddie Hall wouldn't. He's not getting on. Look at that. He's not getting up them stairs. Those stairs. Sorry. Even though I naturally say that sometimes in a sort of, childish comedic way, it annoys me. Those stairs. Eddie Hall's not getting up those stairs. He's just not. And what's this seat here? Look, is that me? Hello, you chuffer. Oh, hello, you chuffer. It does look a bit like me, really, doesn't it? If I had all my hair shaved off and a set of glasses put on, and I was made of polygons. What do you think? It's not bad, is it? It's not dissimilar. It's not dissimilar. I wonder if that's one of the developers or if it's somebody's friend. Because if I was designing the bus driver for this game, and they were going to be permanently and forever, not only immortalised, but memorialised, and some sort of crazy Hades level of hell situation where they were going to have to drive this bus forever with distorted features, clipping hands, and quite a small head for their bulky body. Look at how chunky the arms are compared to the head. Like the forearms there, and the hands seem to be about the same size as the pea head. What is he holding? He, she, they. What are they holding? Is that a phone or a calculator? It looks like a phone, doesn't it? You shouldn't be holding that, mate, while you're driving. You shouldn't be holding it. Well, you're not driving, are you, at the moment? You're just sort of having a little... like a slow seizure, aren't you? Just a slow... ooh, seizure. Like that, holding that phone. I mean, it's not important, is it? Because you're not going to see this much while you're playing the game. But that... is it because it's the Nintendo Switch and some things look like they were made by potatoes? Or is that... what's going on there? Not like the modern knuckle duster phone. Slither thin. Wear it on your knuckles. You don't want that. You don't want to be messing around with that while you're driving the bus, mate. You're not going to be taking any calls. If anyone does call you, then you just have to explain to them you're busy at work. So you don't even have to explain to them with that. You just don't answer it, do you? Because you're busy at work. So don't have to worry about that. This is Kishmish. They made the game. And they wanted to put their logo on there, but they didn't think they'd render it in very... They thought they'd just leave it lo-fi. Nice though, nice. Kishmish. We do appreciate this game, Kishmish, already. I'm already having fun, and one day intend to contact you and maybe interview you. So, let's hope you can speak good English, because I don't know any other languages really apart from un petit français. Look, bus stop 1, bus stop 3. Now, if I was trying to catch a bus, that's going to confuse me. This is another reason I didn't like the buses. I know I had a bus pass with my number on it, and the bus itself has a number on it, and I just line up those two, and that's me. I know that's the system, but the amount of times I found myself on the wrong bus, and it's confusing stuff like this that caused it. Can we not just have one clear signal, one clear number? 1, is that the bus 1? Because stop 3 there. Ooh, what if I want to go to bus stop 2? Does it go through bus stop 2, bus stop 1, 2, bus stop 3, or is it just going to those two? Confusing. Got a license plate. Russia. Ooh. Russian. Is this Russia? Hang on. It is as well, isn't it? Look. Don't you think? The architecture. In the distance there, you've got those roundy tops to what looks to be maybe a sort of Orthodox Christian building, or at least influenced in that style. And then you've got these, it alludes to, you can't really see, but just through that gap it alludes to a wide open space. Russia's got a lot of those. And you've got these very communistic, I don't know if that's a word, but look, I've been to communist countries in my travels, and you see a lot of this. They look like big, not apartment blocks, but there was no messing around. It's a big concrete square and lots of uniform shapes. You all get allocated one, evens. Do you know what I mean? That's communism, isn't it? In a building. And there was a lot of those sort of shapes. I remember going to a university in Poland, and the university halls were very reminiscent of the communist era, I think. Maybe it was just because they were shared spaces that it made me think of that. But yeah, look. And what have we got there? Lamppost doesn't give us much indication, but it must be unique to a certain... The way the electricity wires are being, or the telephone wires, they're being carried along the actual lampposts. That's not normal in my regular neck of the woods. The trees are birch trees, aren't they? Silver birch. Can't really tell them. Might be a yew. No, I think I'm going to say with silver birch, aren't they? The birch trees. And I can't read what it says up there. Bus driver simulator. I can. Oh, must have better vision than I thought. But no, because it's all 2D and just over there for me, isn't it? It's only a foot away in real life, but it's just small on the screen. But yeah, so bus driver simulator. It's not written in Russian, but then I chose English as my language for the game. I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe we are in Russia. Certainly a sort of post-communist, modern era, Eastern European feel to that, isn't there? I wonder which side of the road they drive on, because that's going to be important. Let's start the engine. No, wait, I'm not ready yet. I'm still having a look at my bus. How do I go down, up and down? Oh, I see. I can look down and move down like that, and then look up, and I'll be that. Yes. Look at that. They're giving us such full control. Look, I'm under the bus. Here we go. Under the bus now. You do not want to be... Listen, you do not want to be playing around under a bus. You don't want to... Never... Is it always? Or is it never? It's never. Never play around under a bus. Never. Do you want me to tell you the sad story about the pigeon? Do you want me to tell you the sad story about the pigeon? Go on. I'll have to get the mouse out now and switch to big face. Never play around under a bus. It wasn't even a bus. It was at the bus stop, though. So like I explained earlier, you go to the bus stop. It's busy in town. We called it the Triangle. but actually it wasn't really. It was triangular shaped, this area of road with some shops next to it. Like the taxis went there and the buses went there, and it was, in the middle of town, that sort of trafficky business. We called it the triangle. What it actually was the cattle market. Our old town. You like this if you're American. And you're living somewhere that literally, not this in America, right? But I've been to America, luckily, fortunately. I haven't seen it all, and I know there's a lot of beautiful, unique character. But one of the places I went to, it looked like everything in this area had been built in the last sort of 10 or 20 years. Everything. It looked like it was all fairly nice, but we just drove through. Like we went from one place where we were in the car park in our big building, and then in the car park we get out and we drive on these relatively nice big roads just straight to where we're going. And then we get out and we're there, and I'm like, everything we drove past and everything's all very similar, isn't it? All very modern, all very new, all very similar. Yeah, all very similar. But where I live, it's not like that at all. It's all higgledy-piggledy, windy roads. Some of them have been there for hundreds of years. The cattle market in town is not really a cattle market. It was in like the 17th century probably. And some of the buildings in our town, like Shakespeare came from my town, and he lived there literally, and his house got pulled down because his landlord was so... After he died, the landlord of the house was so angry with the amount of tourists and people coming to have a look at where Shakespeare lived that he pulled it down. And now there's just a nice garden in the middle of town that people can visit, which is Shakespeare's garden. It's true, that is. But the other things are still there, like his mom's house and his... there's lots of buildings, lots of little windy roads, little higgledy-piggledy stuff. Our buses have to sort their way around that. It's interesting. So in our town, the cattle market, which is no longer a cattle market, of course, it's no longer a cattle market. It's just an area of town that was a bit bigger and wider because they used to get all the cows in there, didn't they? We use that for the parking of the buses now, for the picking up and the delivery of people, especially school children, of an afternoon. So if you go down there, I used to have a hairdressing shop, and it was right on the cattle market. It was right there. And at 4 o'clock, all the kids would turn up for school. And I used to be one of those kids, so I knew the shebang. I know what's going down. There's messing about going on. There's popping in the shop and eating your crisps and sweets. And there's sometimes, occasionally, messing about in front of Scotty Hottie's hairdressing shop. And occasionally Scotty Hottie has to come out in his hairdressing clothes and his folded arms and say, "Hey, pick up that crisp packet, please. I don't want that stuffed in my flower pot," and things like that. So, yeah, there's all sorts of goings on. And so why am I saying this? Yeah, don't mess around on the bus, right? So it was this cattle market, busy, buses here, things there. I had to pop to the bank, actually. This is what I was doing because I had my hairdressing shop, and I had to pop to the bank, and I was waiting outside the bank, and that's where the taxis go. And this image, what you can see in the bottom corner here, this is sad now. You're not going to like this. This is sad. There was a little pigeon, and he was behind the taxi. He, she, they were behind the taxi, just behind the back wheel there. And I thought, this isn't going to go well for the pigeon, because I saw the back of the bus. It had, not bus, taxi. It had a reverse light, and I thought, I don't like this. I'm quite a distance away, so I can't physically run in and wait, save the... by the time I'd noticed it, the wheel was reversing over the back end of the poor pigeon, and that squashed the back end of the poor pigeon, and it, of course, expired. So... Why am I telling this horrid story? Oh, what a horrid story. That affected me, actually. It affected me for weeks, watching the animal expire. It affected me for weeks. And months. I'm still a bit like, oh, I don't like that now. So what I'm saying is, don't mess about underneath the back of the bus, because if it's you, yeah, look, here we are, this is us. If that's you, and you're messing about round here, and this chuffer doesn't, he can't see you in there. If he starts reversing, we know it's a he. It's not me being patriarchal. There's a fella with a, well, he might not be a fella with a beard these days. You don't know, do you? Look, just if they start reversing, you're under there messing about. You've thrown your school bag under there and you're messing it. That's, all that could be bad. You could, just like that pigeon, you could be expired in seconds. So don't do that. Nintendo Switch. Right, let's start the engine. Should we? Sure, because I'm messing around by the back of the bus like I said I wasn't supposed to. So starting the engine is going to get me in trouble. Let's get me back in the bus. How do we do that? Well, this would be what it's like being a small animal, isn't it? Look. This is a small animal's view, isn't it? Look, this is what it's like being my dog. That tree looks like it's going to smell nice. I can't even go over there. Oh, I really wanted to go and wee. Oh, we can. Here we go. Can I go and wee on the tree, please? Wee on the tree. Small dog. Can I wee on the tree? I at least want to get close to it. That's as close as I can get. Well, got some freedom, didn't we? At least we can have a look at our bus now. It looks different, doesn't it, from a dog's point of view? It looks very different. I now understand a little more about... My dog doesn't like traffic, and my previous dog, he used to bark at all the cars. And I swear, I used to have this mad dog. And the dog that bit me a few times and ended up, sadly having to be put down. He used to, when the traffic was going, he'd at the traffic. And I swear, if I let him off the lead, he would have run out into the road, into the at the traffic, because he was so angered by it. But now if you see that, it looks a bit more imposing, doesn't it? That truckling along. Truckling sounds nice, but trumpling, we'll say trumpling. That trumpling along. Oh, look, I'm moving the wheels, look. Whee! Well, you see that at the front? I'm moving the wheels. Whee! So it's not four-wheel drive, and it's not full diff lock or whatever. Here we are, look. Oh, do you know what I've noticed? I haven't got the sound on. There you go. That's the sound of the bus game. I forgot to put the sound of the bus game on because we were listening to Mars, Bringer of War earlier. Do you want to hear a bit of that again? It really ruined my edit. But it totally fits the feeling that I want to give this introduction to the bus game. So, dun, dun. And that angle, that camera angle. Da, da, da. It's cool, isn't it? Look. It's a good shot. Keep the camera steady, Scott. Come on. Right through the middle, right through the middle. That was a good shot. Let's try and get some more epic, dramatic shots with this music. I don't know if you can hear me. But I'm now having fun trying to create epic, dramatic shots to the tune of Mars Bringer of War. Like turning this into a film assignment now. Nice. The bus game. See, that was better, wasn't it? Let's turn that off now. Let's turn it off. I'm going to close that window so I can't be tempted to play Master Bringer of War anymore. Gustav Holst, by the way. Hopefully that will get us DMC'd off YouTube. So this is the bus. Now, what I wanted to bring up as well is it on? Is it on? Is that just background sound? Is the bus itself on? Because I haven't started it yet. That background sound sounds suspiciously like an engine, doesn't it? It sounds suspiciously like an engine, doesn't it? It does, I'm telling you, it does. You can hear me alright out there in Twitch land, can't you? You can hear me alright, let me check that. It does, I'm telling you, it does. You can hear me alright out there in Twitch land, can't you? You can hear me. 1, 2. It does, I'm telling you, it does. You can hear me alright out there in Twitch land, can't you? You can hear me. 1, 2. Yeah, of course you can. You hear me alright in Twitch land? Right, let me get my... what's it called? It's called like a... compressor. Now I'm doing... Oh no, the compressor. You see, the more I'm turning the compressor on, the more I'm sounding like I'm from Cornwall. Oh no. Compressor. Oh no. What's that done to my voice? That's not an effect, is that? What kind of effect is that? Let's just turn that off a bit. Let's just turn that down a bit. There we go. There we go. I'm back. Okay. That's better. Yeah, so it's got background sound. And the background sound... Look, let's start the engine. I haven't started it yet, but the background sound of the engine. So that's lost... On the final review, that's lost itself a percentage point of a star, hasn't it? Consistency. If you're going to be a simulator, you've got to try hard to... Consistency to reality. That's, the main... Losing the... losing the authentic immersion, aren't we? Immersion. We're losing the immersion if you make little mistakes like that. Not judging it harshly. I'm joking. It's an interesting game. Right. Let's try and start the engine. Before I do, should we try and go back into the bus? So I'm driving it. There we are. Oh, I can look around as well with my head. All the way around. That's spooky. Imagine if you're on the bus, you get on the bus and he's doing the full they, she, they, me. Well, if it's me, it's a he. I am doing the full Reagan from Exorcist. If you haven't seen The Exorcist, it's quite interesting. It's not all action like you think it is. There's a lot of it's wandering around being priests. But then eventually she does get, doing the horror bit. And the horror bit doesn't seem as bad these days because what was really, really scary back then is slightly comedic these days, I find. But Mark Lamar would be cross to hear me say that. Mark Lamar loves that. But there I am, spinning my head full around 360. Look, oh, it's making me sick. Let me stop. Haven't got a body, haven't got legs. Ain't got nothing. Ain't got nothing. No legs. No hands. Just a spirit driver. And that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Let's try and start the engine. Let's try. Does it mean it's not going to work? Is it possible it won't work? Press the Y button to open the dashboard menu and select the first option. Use the L and R to navigate. Hold A to start the engine. Oh, all sorts of things now. Okay, I've got a Y button to open the dashboard. Oh, hello. Close that just to practice. Open it again. Close it. Let's practice. Open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. I lost a job like that. Do you remember me telling you? The guy was so cross at the way I was closing the microwave. He told me, he said, "You're closing that microwave too loud, too firmly. It's going to break." And I said, "Don't be silly." This is to the boss, bear in mind. I just can't help myself though. I said, we're busy at work. I just can't help myself. "Look, don't be silly," I said. "You can't break a microwave by opening and closing it firmly. It's designed to be closed relatively firmly. It's a catering microwave." And to prove the point, I went, "Closed, open." Oh, where's it gone? See, I've broken it. Open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. And he was getting very angry. Because I was doing the thing that he just told me not to do. Closed, open, closed, open. And I think that was the same day that I made the soup really salty. Because, I could see it coming. I knew after that open, closed, when he had to leave the room, have a little think, talk to his wife. I thought, I've lost my job here. So the soup got pretty salty that day before I left, I can tell you. Look, let's try and start the engine. Press the Y button to open the dashboard menu and select the first option. Use L and R to navigate. Oh, to navigate the menu. Oh, I thought the L and R was going to be to navigate, just while I was driving. But now, no, I'm going to have to do that myself with my brain. I'm not very good at navigating. I'm not very good at enjoying driving the bus. Look, L and R, that's the menu. What's that? Let's use that. They want me to start the engine, but I want to do this. Woo! Close that. They're on. They're staying on. Things are happening to us now. Where's the one where I can move it? This one. There we go. Things are going to start happening for me now. Look at that. Full action. Window wipage. Oh, there's a cat meowing. If you have dirt and scruff on your windows when you're driving, it can be dangerous. But these window wipers are not designed, they're just to clear the water. You need to get out and give it a proper clean. If you're me and I'm employed to drive the bus, I don't know if it's also my responsibility to keep it clean. But if I'm coming to work and needing to switch those babies on, I'm having a word in the depot. Look, what are you talking? I'm talking to the whole internet, to everybody on the internet. Who are you talking to? You're talking to me. Now, one of us is going to be too busy here, aren't they? Because you can talk to me or you can talk to anyone else. I can only talk to everyone on the internet. I can't go away. So what do you want? Any choices? I'm going to go out. Okay, I can do that. Sorry, I'm just going to have to let the cat out. Back at the window in about 5 minutes. I just needed to go out to get let back in. Right. We're not going to get our driver's license at this rate, are we? Have I done an hour yet? Have I done an hour? 45 minutes. Oh, chuff, and I haven't even started driving the bus. Chuff. Oh, chuff. I'm going to... We'll get on now, because I thought what I'd do is I'd switch this on, do a nice hour, get our license, set it up for maybe... I'm expecting... Mum's been at Nan's house, like Nan's dead now. Saying it now, like it seems okay to say it like that now. It seems a bit funny, but obviously she's not there, Nan isn't. So Mum's over there doing boxes and things. So when she arrives back here with boxes and clutter to be left here, I'm gonna want to sort of pause this and say, "Are you all right? How's things been at Nan's house?" Because I expect she might be a bit emotional. So because Nan's not been dead that long, only since Christmas. So. And it wasn't like a Christmas arrangement. We didn't ask for that. Like, in fact, we'd have preferred it to not have happened. So you understand. So I thought we'd do a nice hour and get this set up for maybe coming on again later. And then I thought earlier, I'll tell you what I was thinking before we even start driving the bus. I thought, could I? I don't think I can, but maybe I should just come here every day this week and next and drive the bus as like a 9 to 5 and like start my job at 9 o'clock like normal people do. And it'd be this, and be like a virtual bus driver for a week or two. The full day, 9 to 5, like the actual bus driver is driving around out there. And like, then I thought maybe not. Maybe none of us could tolerate that. I do like this camera option though, isn't this good? Giving it the full. Look at that. Isn't that good? Right, let's get back in the bus. Here we are. Right, now I've learned how to do that, on, off, open, closed. I know how to do that. And I know I can navigate it like this, and I can use it like that. So let's start the bus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the bus. Oh. You've been here all this time, you're finally getting to the good bit. Ooh, what's that in there? Ooh, is that a chocolate centre? Ooh, is that chocolate in the middle? Ooh, I like the look of that. Ooh, is that chocolate? Ooh. Right, come on then. Have we got a problem here or what? Do you hear that? It's not starting. Oh, hold it. Well, now we're up. You can hear the engine tone kicked in there a little bit more. It's a bit loud, isn't it? I'm just going to turn it down. We're going to struggle for volume settings because I have to see it as a visual. It's like green and yellow bars. But you can hear it, and it's easy to understand. If I want to hear it, I have to press this button over here, and then you can hear both things. Check this out, easy to understand. If I want to hear, so now you can hear both things over here, and then I can hear both things. Check this out, easy to understand. If I want to hear, so now you can hear both things. See, I can hear me talking, and you can hear. Check this out, easy to understand. Oh, that's confusing. See, how am I supposed to sound mix that? Oh, that's so I don't bother. I just do it by eye. But if later in the edit, I can hear it being up and down. I'm like, oh, chuff. That's annoying. That whole stream went out like that. So if you can't hear me, you make sure you tell me. If you've got a problem with the sound settings, we're relying on you, Ganji Puka Warrior crew, Ganji Puka Warrior viewer, Ganji Puka Warrior sub. We're relying on you. So you're part of this. You're part of this now. Once you get on the bus, you're implicated in the crime. You can't. It's like one of those new double jeopardy laws. What is it? I don't know what the laws are in America. They've got these laws. We've got them in the UK as well, I suppose. That's where I've heard about them. This law is that if you're in a gang, right, which means if you're in a group, really, and something bad happens and one of you does a crime, you're all naughty, you've all done it. So it's to implicate. So it's to stop these gang things where, like, you know, the leader of the gang stands there with his arm folded while the other naughty gang member does something naughty, and then another, oh, I didn't do it, I was only stood there. Well, you know, you sort of did do it because you drove them there and you were being naughty, and you sort of, you know, you're part of it, aren't you? That sort of thing. So if you get on my bus, whatever I do, you're all in it. You're all implicated. I can hear the cat. I just heard the cat coming in the kitchen window. So it turns out that by leaving the kitchen window open for her to in and out wasn't good enough for her. It's good enough to come back in, but to go out, she needs me in the door. Anyway, we've got the bus started, look. Excellent, the engine's running. It turns off with the help of the same way. There you go. Press the B button to close the dashboard menu. Now we'll try and turn on the lights. Press the X button to open the lights. Oh, we've got different menus. Alright, let's start the bus again. Although we're wasting petrol now. We could have had an electric bus. Maybe we'll get one. Maybe we'll get an electric bus. Because most modern buses are either gas or electric, aren't they, these days? They don't make modern buses with petrol engines chuffing out pollution, do they? There's not much point in having an ecological solution to transport and making it well, I can see down the window in it. Non-ecological. But anyway, look. So we've got that. Close that. X. Oh, look. Use the main beam. They're dipped. Let's try and turn on the light in the cabin. You don't want the lighting on in the cabin. Oh. That's only going to make it more difficult for me to drive. And finally, the lighting of the dashboard. Third option. I don't see a difference. Where's my... I don't see any difference. Okay. And then the final one is emergencies, but I'm not allowed to put that on for some reason. Not until we get an emergency, which is inevitable if I'm driving. Before turning anywhere, you need to make sure the manoeuvre's safe. Close the current menu with the B button. Switch on the turn signals. L, turn left, R, turn to the right, continue. Try switching on any turn signal. Can I do it? There are situations when you need to turn on the emergency lights. Try fourth option. So it thinks I've done the signal. Hang on. Yes, look. I'm indicating. Now I've got to go through all the camera menus to get right back there. Okay. But I'm still indicating. Hang on. Do I turn it off? Yeah, on and off. So it's an indicator. Indicator. And they're only optional. They're only optional. They're not optional. You're supposed to use them. But, now the emergency. Okay, let's find out. That's the one. There they are, emergency. You might as well have those on the whole time. Anything can happen on the road. Sometimes you need to give a beep. Press the L stick. Oh, we're going to be using that a lot. And you just, there's the emergency lights. You might as well have them on the whole time for a bus. I feel. I mean, when is it not an emergency? People need to get there. People need to get to their places. They need to get to their stop. Emergency. Move out of the way. Right, let's use this. Stop them. And then let's beat the horn. I mean, that's sad, isn't it? Maybe I'm too... Let's go in the cab again. Oh, that is sad. Maybe the other buses will have better horns. There's no point in even pressing that. You might as well, and it twists the wheel while I press it. Well, not anymore. You might as well just get out the window and shout, "Oi!" Because that's not going to... It's not going to intimidate anyone. That's not the purpose of the room, is it, to intimidate people? Anyway, when controlling the bus, you can turn on these functions by opening an appropriate menu. Remember to close your current menu with the B button to open another one. Close any current menu and press the A button to continue. Yeah, alright. Now let's drive this short route. Oh, good. Scotty Hotty's face is in the way. Brilliant. Oh, it's only a squashed little... I thought it was going to be more of it. Not my face, the below my face now, the route. Now drive the short route with 3 bus stops. Navigator can be toggled by this button. Oh, look, that's the whole map on my screen now. It's like in my eyes. Ah! Elon Musk neural lace implanted in my brain. Ah! Just right there. Straight ahead, just to there. So far. It doesn't show me the whole route, which is a shame. Maybe I only need to know stop by stop. I can move it, look. Ooh. Ooh. That's not handy. No, I've lost it. Put it back. How did I get into this again? That one. Okay, it's time to start moving. It's been time to start moving for a long time, to be fair. This was my driving test. We wouldn't mess about pressing the horn, would we? It's time to start moving. The wheel is steered by turning left and right, like that. The Thomas the Tank Engine music. It's going to get me ripped off YouTube as well with the copyright. Gas and brakers, ZR and ZL, fair enough. Before starting movement, you need to remove the parking brake. Using the handbrake is only available while the bus menu's inactive. Do it! Quite rude there. Am I going to be using the gears, do you think? Or am I just going to be ignoring them? Parking brake is disengaged. You can put it on again when you stop at bus stop so the bus does not roll back. Yeah, although the pigeons are going to have troubles. Try going ahead, continue to the nearest stop. I will. Are you happy? I'm happy. Here we go. Where's my navigator gone? Just let it go around the turning circle. Oh, hey. Steady. Where's my navigator? There we are. Alright, it wants me over there. Little shortcut here. No, obviously not. No shortcut there. Physically unable to mount the curb. Sorry. Bus is coming, so if you're waiting for your bus, you just... Oh, I just crashed it then, but in fact, I fortunately went through the old... without... Oh, hang on, wait! We made it, though, didn't we? So if you're parking brake, there we go. Now you can get on. Right, let me just change the camera so I can look at you. Stop and open the door. Oh, they can't get in yet because I haven't opened the door. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. You can't get in yet because this is my driving test. And before you can get in, I've got to have a little chat about what's going on. So, you're frisky, aren't you? What's going on with you? You're frisky. Is this one of these drug heads, is it? Is this one of these meth heads? Is he on something? What's he doing? Frisky. I don't like the look of him. This fella. Shifty, isn't he? Shifty. What's he doing? Like, if you need a wee, go there now behind those trees and do it there. Squirrels do it there, nobody will mind. Do that now, because you're not getting on the bus if you need a wee. Certainly not if you're flicking it out the end of your trousers. If you've already done it, that's not acceptable. What is with you? Oh, do you know what? We're doing the bus drive and I haven't even mentioned Dee Dee yet. Yorker. I've got no business being in Yorker. Look, there's... What's happened to you, mate? Shouldn't make fun of people's physical appearance, especially if they're disfigured, but he must have been injured at work or something, mustn't he? Where does he work? Roadworks? Or is it something more serious? Look at these yellow boots. They're not roadwork boots, either they're indoor welly boots. It's something serious. And now we're on the floor like a little doggy again. I'm going to face high. I inspect you. Saying nothing about my arrival. My crash. I'm a bit sad that it doesn't include the crashing. You know, they haven't included damage to the bus stop, hitting the people. I managed to miss them, but you know what I mean. So anyway, look, we're going to call you Peter. You're Peter. Peter. Peter, no. Peter. What is that? Is it just mud underneath your nose, or have you got... Is it just shadow? You haven't got a little moustache or a disfigurement? It looked... Because at one point it looked like his nose was just flat to his face. But now I realise he's actually got a well-formed Roman polyagonal nose. So he's got that. Peter's alright, isn't he, look? Peter's no trouble. Staring, isn't he? Staring. Don't look at me, Peter. when you want to get on the bus. Don't look at me, will you, when you get on the bus? You just stare straight ahead. He's about to cry, isn't he, Peter? I'm sorry. You know what? Now I'm sorry I took the piss out of him. Sorry for swearing. Sorry I took the mickey out of you, Peter. I'm sorry. You know, you might be quite a sound fella. There is something wrong with it, isn't there? It's a bit jaggy about that one, isn't it? A bit jaggedy. So we've got Peter. Who's this? Do you need a name? Mr. Shifty? You're not coming on anyway, so I don't need to name you because you're not going on. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like the way you're moving. I can't even tell if you're a boy or a girl, to be fair. Which is fine in today's day and age. Everyone's a day, aren't we? We've discussed this before, but I shouldn't make judgments, but you know, there they are. Anyway, they're the passengers. So stop and open the door so they can enter the bus. You can open the door using the door's menu. Oh God, chuffing. Another menu for another thing. So X is your lights, Y is your start and stop, and A is your door's menu. What's that, front and back? Well, these chuffers aren't getting in the front, I'll tell you that. They're not sitting anywhere near me. Starey Peter and Shifty Simon. They're not getting anywhere near me. They're going in the back, so let's use that. Wait till they get on the bus. Close. You're not coming up. Why? Hang on. I wanted... This isn't fair. I wanted Peter on and I wanted Simon off. Simon's got on. Yeah, you need sitting still though. You can't even sit still. Where are you going, Simon? You're going to score today's what is it? Is it alcoholism, is it, Simon? So you need to go and get a can of... You're not bringing your cans on here. You're not bringing a can of special beer on this bus, Simon. You need to get off, mate. You alright? Peter, you were supposed to get on first. Now Simon's on the bus and we can't get him off. So that's your problem, that is, Peter. That's you. You've got to make... Do you mean I don't care if you've never met him, Peter. I've never met either of you. But it's my bus, so I make the rules. You, Peter, have got to look after Simon. And if anything happens, Peter, if he starts, being sick or whittling, I want you to get him off. Look, you've got the protective clothing, haven't you? You've got the welly boots. You're not going to be worried slipping around in piss, are you? You're in charge, right? I'm leaving you in charge of Simon. Right, let's open the doors again. In fact, why don't we get you on the front? Let's open the front doors for you. Yeah, there we go. That's a better system. Immediately realised that the connotations there are not going to go well, are they? The front and back bus segregation system. Probably not going to go down that road, am I? But, I've segregated them not by race or gender or anything mean like that. I've segregated them by who's behaving. Behaving normally. Behaving, creepy-esque. Creepy-ish. And at least holding it in. He's starting to wobble now he's on the seat. And who's behaving like somebody who needs a fix. That's what I'm deciding. And the reason I'm deciding that is because I don't want him to sit near me. I talked about this earlier, about this seat over here. What's this seat? That's not right, is it? This seat. Reserved next to driver. You should never have a seat next to the driver because these people could distract the driver. They could distract the driver. I don't want them sitting next to me. I want my privacy. And in fact, I want a screen, a metal screen here to separate me from the hoi polloi. Well, look, there's a mirror there. Can you see Simon? Where's Simon? Hang on. I'm on the bus. I'm the driver, right? That's my mirror, isn't it, for looking at the people who get on the bus. So I now need to look at them. They're there. There they are, back there. Both there. Where are they? Why can't I see them? Is that mirror just a fake mirror? Is it just plastic stuck up there to look like I'm monitoring you? and in fact it's just an image. It's not very useful, is it, if it doesn't have pictures of the people, because that's what I'm supposed to be monitoring. Like I said though, you're in charge, you're the bus monitor now. Okay, Peter, you're the bus monitor. What's he doing back there? Where's your hands? Put your hands where I can see them, you dirty bugger. Right. You can see how much money you've earned from the sale of tickets on the windshield tablet. Right, hang on. Let's close all the doors. I'll close the doors. Oh, it's closing the menu, not the doors. Right, that was what was confusing me. That's the doors closed. Right. Cameras. I want to be the bus driver again. Right, here I am, I'm the bus driver. You can see, oh, it's got time on it. Time's ticking. Oh, they want me to get on with that then. You can see how much money you've earned from the sale of tickets on the windshield tablet. Note that to complete the trip of the script successfully, you need to not only reach the end point of the route, but also earn a certain amount of money. Money's given for each passenger, and it's deducted for all kinds of fines. Oh, chuff. Chuff. I thought I was just going to run the bus, and then I was going to be fine. No, they're going to be stealing my money out of my pocket. All kinds of fines. Red light running, I'm not going to be doing that. Skipping a stop, I'm not going to be doing that. Collision, ooh. Sometimes you should not hurry, because coming to a stop too early can lead to a fine. Oh my chuff. Getting the bus route done quick doesn't help. You have to be there on time, not before time, not after time, but on time. Coming to a stop too early can also lead to a fine. Watch the schedule. Now go to the second stop. Right, well they're expecting me at 10:26 and it's already 10:32, so I've already failed on that. Haven't I? Can't reverse. Why not? Have I not got it started? No, we are started. Let's close that. I'm trying to reverse. Has it not got a reverse gear? Oh, I've got the park brake on, haven't I? Hang on, there we go. Parked, didn't I? Right, we're out of that now. That's fine. There's nobody about. It must be very early in the morning, isn't it? People going to work very early in the morning on my driving test. It's not though, is it? It's 10:26. So where's all the people? These are only the chuffers that are late for work. The rest of you, get off the streets. Don't you know there's a curfew in careful. Don't you know there's a curfew in process? There's a bus. Hang on. What's the point in having a bus stop over here? You can go and get on the other bus stop. I'm not stopping for you. You should have been at the other bus stop. I've been there for 20 minutes. You could have. Oh, you're all coming. Hang on. You need to wait for me to stop. Park brake. That's handy, isn't it? Now we need to have a look at you. Camera. I mean, it's going to be difficult keeping. Hello. What the? It's going to be difficult keeping. Are you going to a convention? It's going to be difficult keeping. They all want to get on the back, don't they? It's going to be difficult keeping to the schedule if we have to investigate all the people. But we do have to investigate all the people. Right. 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 Like your lipstick. So he wants to get off. Look. Do you want to get off, or you just? He's alright at the front. But Simon here. Why did you catch a bus? That was a waste of money, wasn't it, Simon? You could have walked here. It's only over there where we picked you up. You could have walked here, Simon, in the time it's taken. What's this? Oh look, it's Russian bank. I think that says maybe in Russian, maybe. We could say Onyachu. Lex Friedman, on that. My big friend Lex Friedman, who I like. He's not really my friend, I just like him watching his videos. In the same way as you're my friend, but you know. Alright, look, let's talk to these people. Because this, as I was saying earlier, we're going with the androgynous, modern they pronouns, aren't we? Certainly for this person. What are you doing behind them? Why are you swaying like that? going on here? Captain Phillips and I mean, she looks quite pretty in a way, doesn't she? And then at other times, he looks quite scary. I don't know. I mean, that is quite scary, isn't it, really? You shouldn't come on the bus. You're dressed like a Roman, aren't you? That's what I thought, but you're not really, are you? You just examine them closer. And your legs are clipped into this. You're in the concrete. You're not going to be able to get on the bus, are you? You're going to have to stay there forever. I thought this was a Roman tunic. It's not. It's just like a jumper tied around your waist, isn't it? Okay. But that round your shoulder, is that like a shoulder plate armour strap thing? Looks like one, doesn't it? Or is it just your handbag? Yeah, I don't know about you. And what are you doing behind me? All this swaying. Big pockets. Big pockets on jeans, aren't they? Big pockets. That's for shoplifting. What about you? Your shoes are an abomination into fashion. I apologise if you at home have shoes like this. It's probably not likely to be the case though, is it? An abomination. One or t'other, the green's a nice green, and the pattern's interesting, but why together? I'm not trying to look at this skirt, I'm just trying to get you have to get up like that. I'm trying to look at you. And you, maybe you shouldn't get on the bus either. What's up with your lipstick? Problem with the old steady hand again. Problem with the old steady hand. That side, it's alright, isn't it? This side though. You've got a bit of a Crichton look about you, haven't you, for some reason. And if you saw these three outside the bank, you'd think there was going to be a robbery in progress. And looking at these three, they'd probably try and run away by catching the bus, wouldn't they? Frederica over here. Okay then, doors are opening. Let's get the doors open. That's the engine. We don't want that. Doors. Let's get those doors open. Use the back doors because we might as well, because you're all there. There you go. Bye bye. I'll be seeing you again in a hurry, hopefully. Now that you know how to go back, finish the route by arriving at the final stop. Fair enough. Just want to see these people who've got on the bus alright. Close the doors. They all like to sit on the right hand side, don't they? Everyone so far has sat on the right hand side. Now this is weird. Okay, I'll tell you what's so weird about it is that Frederica and Captain Phillips are now sitting next to each other, like very close. I told you these seats are too small, didn't I? Look, very close, too close. That's just gone weird. I'm not even going to critique the clipping, because it's just, I'm going to live with it, but his hand's gone funny as well though, look. What's he doing? What's he doing? Look at his belly. Look, that's him. And over here, Tracy has moved to the... I forgot her name. Tracy's moved to the back. Sat on her own. Well, Tracy was with Captain Phillips and Frederica was stood on her own outside. So they're just... Maybe they're all in the same group. Maybe they're all friends. They're not talking to each other, are they? He looks very tense. Doesn't he? Captain Phillips looks very tense. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing, mate? Yeah. I mean, I really didn't want to let you on the bus, but we've got Barry Chuckler here in the background. She's quite pretty, isn't she? It's the eyelashes, isn't it? It's the eyelashes. Quite pretty. Not the moustache. It's not the moustache that does it. It must be the eyelashes. She looks a bit like me, doesn't she? What quite like. There she is, look. I mean, the moustache could have been drawn on with a pen, couldn't it? So could the eyelashes. Anyway, bit of a sort of bruising around the eyes as well, isn't it? Is that makeup or is that bruising? Looks like she banged her face into the dashboard. Anyway, we are going to continue our bus route, so we're going to forget the doors. Oh, are they open? I've took the park brake off. Hang on. Don't worry, everyone. We're just rolling. So you can mount the curb. Now that I know how to go back, to continue, or do they want me to think left here? Indicate. I forgot to indicate. Okay, driving off the road, 200. Oh no! How am I ever going to earn money in this game for 200 for driving off the road? That's 200. That's loads. And like that's basically what I always do the whole time. Okay, let's hope there's no traffic because we're going. Well, there's a bus stop over there, green. We're going for it. Now that's weird, isn't it? You cross the road to go in the bus stop on the other side of the road. Wouldn't they put the bus stops on the side of the road that you drive on? Like park brake, and then I like to get out. Right, we're gonna have to reverse it. See how many indicators still? Park brake. I mean, I am here, aren't I? Yeah, I must be here because they've all stood up. Let's get my camera. Let's have a look. So, you want to get off the front, don't you, Peter? You want to get off the front. Still seem very focused. And what are you doing here? You want to get off at the front, Captain Phillips. Big smile on your face now, haven't you, Captain Phillips? But you two, Frederica here, she's still sat down. She might not want to get off. She's still sat down. And Tracy, they both want to get off at the back, do they? Or is Tracy just looking out of that window? I mean, what a bus ride from over there to down here. What a waste of a... Could have walked that. Right, let's open the doors then. Park brake applied. Doors, that's the engine. Doors, I have to look down. I'm not looking down at your own crotch. I'm looking at the controller. I assure you. I've never ever said it like that before. I assure you. Right, but let's, yeah, we'll use the back doors. Everyone off the back. I don't want you walking past me and spreading your germs. Oh, all the doors have gone. Oh no, I used the front door by mistake, so I'm an idiot. Close it. You can't come off the front. Everyone else can. You can't. You have to get off the back. So don't want the germs. The COVID germs. Quite happy. Oh no. Quite happy though, Tracy. Got a very unique walk. Oh, Tracy. There she goes, look. There she goes. Where's she going? Nobody knows. Did she disappear then? Took my eyes off the board to look at you. To look directly at you. Look at you. And then she disappeared. Where did Tracy go? Nobody knows. Weird. Spooky, if anything. So, are my doors open? My back doors are open. My back doors are open. Anyone could get in. Look, close that. Close it. Do you know what a good system would be? Let them on the front so they can pay, and let them off the back so you don't have to see them again. Close. There we go. Congratulations on obtaining your category driving license. Oh, that was it. I got the license, everyone. Got the license. Let's celebrate, not by using the indicator. Let's celebrate by using the emergency lights. There we go. Celebrate by using the emergency lights. Hold the A button to end the tutorial. Now you can go to the city on your first real route. Brilliant. This is not the city. That was my first real route. I'm not holding the A button for chuff. You can get stuffed. I'm gonna go back in the driving. I'm the bus driver now. It's my bus now. And I'm just gonna drive off. There you go. We're going to celebrate. We've still got the emergency lights on, so we're going to celebrate. What? Driving off the road minus 200? I don't think so, mate. This is the road. If anything, I'm driving on it. All over it, but on it. I'm just going to go for a celebratory drive down there, but it doesn't want me to. So now we're going to go for it. Right. Driving off the road. Now we're going to celebrate by driving over here. Now we're going to... It won't let me go. Right, we're going to celebrate by parking the bus like that. That was how I wanted it. That's what I wanted to do. Celebrate by parking the bus on the curb like that. Because we've got our licence, haven't we? So have a little, we deserve, if anything, we deserve a little celebration. What's going on? I'm moving around the cameras. Juggling around the suspension. If anything, what's going on? Ooh, nothing. Why would you wall it off then if you haven't got anything to hide? Weird. I suppose you might want to keep the dog on. But if that was the case, you wouldn't be standing for that bit of hill at the back. The dog's going to be looking over that. Window's closed, I think. Curtain's closed. There's no button for that. That's an interesting building on its own down there, isn't it? Nice little red and beige. That red, I learned this when we went to Sweden. In Sweden, they've got loads of red buildings. They're painted with this red colour, this traditional deep russet. And the reason, I do big face for like this. You might not be able to hear me over the sound of the bus, which I turned down a bit, which you never told me was too loud, and if it's been too loud this whole time, it's all your fault. Web browser, not the browser, the big face. They have copper mines, and the copper byproduct of the copper mine is iron oxide, and of course iron and iron oxide is red, isn't it? So they created this paint out of it, and they used it to protect the wood that they built the cabins out of. So this traditional paint colour, this red colour, became a part of the landscape in a way, and it was from the landscape, the iron oxide. So that's interesting, isn't it, the way things go around and come around. And yeah, it's a very pretty colour. I like it. Good for buildings. Good colour for buildings, isn't it? It's kind of like a earthy, sympathetic tone, but then it's kind of bright in a way and pretty, but subtle. Yeah, I like that red. It's good. Do I want to become famous with followers and I would love it if you'd never comment that in my chat. You're not a real person, are you? Like a bot. So I can't even talk to you and tell you to chuff off. But I mean, is there some way of, I could gift them a sub? No thanks. Can I ban them? What's that? Time out. Ban. Well, look, I can ban them. I've got the power. Ban. You got banned. That's the first one ever. You got banned. Oh, hello, Capital K. You were here for the bannage. You were here to witness the first ever bannage. You got banned. Oh. You got popped, don't you? I'm not banning you. You're unbannable. You're beyond bannage. I've never banned anyone. No, not even those people who say, do you want to be famous? But and we've not got any mean people come here to do the rude. This whole thing. Now we've got my license. Now you're here. I'll just do a little chat with you. Don't worry. The driving, we put that aside for a minute. There's a thing going on Twitch at the moment. These hate. I read about it and been looking into it a little bit because I'm on Twitch, aren't I? These hate, raids. People raid people to be nice and say nice things in the chat. Well, now you've got hate raids where people get together on a separate thing on Discord or somewhere like that and say, why don't we all go and raid so-and-so, like Pokimane or someone, someone big and popular. And let's all say rude things in the chat. And then that'll be funny. And then the people who are running the streams, they're like, oh no, all these people are hate raiding me. Will Twitch please sort it out? And Twitch are like, I don't know how to fix it. So I think hate raids is bad, isn't it? We don't want that to happen here. I'd have to ban everyone. It would be difficult. But I also think that it's kind of like a childish thing in the way that the internet. Oh, hello. Hello, we're all here, look. Yeah, I did start the stream with Mars the Bringer of War, because I thought it'd be the most appropriate music for a nice relaxing drive around. And we're going to be doing more bus driving, so this is something I'm pushing for. I was saying as well earlier, maybe we'll try and make it like a full-time job. We definitely won't. Where I get up at 9 in the morning, we definitely won't. And I'd come down here at 9 in the morning, definitely don't. And sit down and do this till 1 o'clock in the afternoon like a job, definitely won't. And then have a break, and then after that, after my lunch break, come back and drive the bus for another few hours, definitely won't. That you wouldn't want to see me at 9 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't talk nicely like this. I'd just be cross. But anyway, look, the Twitch don't know what to do about it. Well, the thing is, right, let's get back to talking about those hate raids for a minute. The thing I think about it is I might be wrong. Maybe it is grown-ups and really hateful, mean people. Or maybe, and this is where I think maybe it's more like this, is it might be like childish groups, bullying at school, that sort of end of the scale, who are just trying so desperately to get some impact and attention out of a thing. And the more you sort of go, the hate raids, I don't like this, can Twitch do something about it, the more like little Timmy, or Timmy's not a mean name, is it? There isn't such thing as a mean name, is there? But little meanie little meanie who's trying to deliberately just be people try and say I do think it ties into mental health. Maybe we should do a mental health Monday on it. Good call. They're not doing it because they really hate a certain ethnic group or and I'm sure of this because I know that when people meet people, they're like, I grew up in a sort of really closed off environment. I didn't know lots of people from your ethnic group, and then now I do. It turns out we're friends, and it's nice and it's fun, and I enjoy your food and your culture. So, that's good. A lot of people are actually like that, aren't they? And even if they think they're racist, even if they've been taught to be racist, even if the people around them are generally racist, and they sort of try and egg themselves up to the the big boy in their area who's tough and mean and saying rude things about other even if they're trying to go to live up to some sort of weird expectation, when they actually meet people, it turns out you can't help it. All of that political meanness, all of that the serious racism and meanness that gets pushed around by mainly the political, but also the confused and angry in our society. They can't even keep that up when on a one-to-one basis someone's nice to you. You know what I mean? You do know what I mean. Not mean as in meanie, but you know what I mean. Because it's illogical and nonsensical. And when you meet people, it turns out they're quite nice. So what are you going to do about it? Some of them are cross and mean, aren't they? But that's on both sides. The ones we've been talking about are the bad racists. So it's ironic, isn't it? That to me, the mean people are the bad racists, and to them, the mean people are just they're not mean, are they? Just the other people. Anyway, so you get this going on, but I think, is it the really bad racists? Is it the organised right wing on Twitter, Twitch, we're on Twitch, aren't we? On Twitch, or is it just like a bunch of kids who all have fun being mean to someone for a half hour, but then later on in life when they look back on it think, I shouldn't have done that, really, it was a bit weak, is it like the more attention we pay to this sort of nonsensical rubbish, the more it gets its day in the sun, and like the 14-year-old idiot Timmy Meanie or whatever, sorry if your name's Tim, he gets, or she or they get to look at it on the news and say, wow, look, it's got on the news, but I was part of that. I don't know. So I wonder if it's just not worth giving it much credence to. I know we've got to deal with it, but I just wonder if it's not worth giving it. Maybe we should sort of treat it for what it is and sort of say this isn't. I want to talk in terms of value, like not that it's not important, because it obviously is, and not that it's not worth taking. Obviously, but I mean, going back to this thing about George Floyd and things like that, serious, real race, absolutely want to, shut these things down. It should not be happening. And then maybe the environment wouldn't be the way it is for someone to go on Twitch and to sort of be a bit mean about race. Maybe that if we're better about the big things in life, better about the real day-to-day, on the ground issues, maybe people wouldn't feel like spreading this rubbish, on the Twitch. Maybe it wouldn't be such a how do I try and say this? When you try shocking, I think sometimes they're just trying to say the most outrageous things. The most outrageous things, and that maybe half the people who say the rude things don't even think the rude things, but it's outrageous to say it, isn't it? You can't say that on the internet. Wow, you said it. Oh, so and so said fuck in front of his mom. So and so said shit in front of the teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, great. But if we did get hate raided, then I don't know how I'd deal with it. It'd probably be in some weird way, it'd probably be positive for me, wouldn't it? Because I'd have loads of people watching me stream, and then other people would look in, because you'd get more people looking, and they'd be, what are they looking at? And then it'd all be positive. So bring on the hate rate. Oh, I shouldn't say these things, but I obviously think it's negative. I obviously think we need to shut these things down. You shouldn't be able really to type in all racism in chat. You shouldn't. That Twitch should be on top of that. But I think I've explained what I feel instinctively about it kind of well there. To think that it's I'd be positive about things. I'd probably want to chat about these sort of things with them, but I don't think it is born of a sort of Nazi society. I don't think these people are really deep down horrible people. I think they're just sort of on a like hype on the internet and snowballing numbers, and I don't think all the people that subscribe to Ludwig on his subathon still watch him or even care or really are into Ludwig. I think they just were involved in this hype of this thing. This fashion is the wrong word. Phase is probably a better word. Twitch spinners. I don't think everyone's still spinning Twitch spinners, are they? Fidget spinners. And I don't think the YouTubers that sold fidget cubes are still proud of their fidget cube video, are they? It's just like a little today's trend, isn't it? And they the good thing about these trends, in a way, what we're talking about, this specifically back to this hate mobbing thing on Twitch, is because it's a trend. The fact that you can see that it's a trend, it's a schoolyard trend. When I was in school, there was a schoolyard trend of doing some silly, I'm trying to think of one, but I can't specifically. But you know what I mean? It's like a playground trend. So the good thing about that is two things. One, you can sort of read from that maybe these people aren't all racists. Maybe it's not a reflection on people's deep down thoughts, and so maybe we shouldn't take it so personally when it's a bunch of kids saying stupid things. And the second thing is they probably won't think this tomorrow or be doing it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's too recent, but like I said, they're not going to be playing with their fidget spinners in 6 months' time. They're going to be in landfill, ruining the planet. So in the same way, they're not going to be spouting this race hate gang thing, because it won't be the stupid thing of the week. Next week they'll all be on Chris Chan or on 4chan or whatever it is that they want to gang up on next. So it is reflective of some sort of negativity in society, but I don't take it as personally and deeply to heart and worry about it as much as I do when I see one person. And this is weird, because loads of people turning a hate mob on the internet should be really bad, shouldn't it? I should be really against that. And the one person I should be more less worried about. But if I see one person in the street saying or doing something racist, that I have to go and stop. I have to go and say something. I have to go and remonstrate, because I think that is really hurting someone on a one-to-one basis. Really, definitely. I think if you're on Twitch and you see a load of racist slurs, I don't know. I feel I feel racist slurs myself sometimes. There have been occasions when they've been directed at me, but in general, when I see racist slurs, I don't think, I should apply that to me and try and make myself as deep down upset as I can in order to respond to it correctly. Like I say, I just think this is stupid. The amount of stupid things people have said to me in a mean way that I've just let go. They range from racism all the way through to provocation about direct insults about my family and my friends and things like that. Every time, it doesn't make me think, this person said something so mean about my mother that I should be so hurt by that. I just think, well, that's silly, isn't it? Because my mother's not like that, and you've said it doesn't mean, it just means you're an idiot. What you've done is you've waved your big idiot flag. So I can see you and I know you're an idiot. But am I hurt by that you're an idiot? It's disappointing that there are so many idiots, but am I hurt by it? Should I be hurt by it? Because I see idiocy. I've seen it throughout society. Some of it's been directed at me. Some of it's directed at people like me. Yeah, it hurts a little, I guess. It's sad in a way. But I am not going to let some ignorant idiot actually hurt me and make me want to, step away. In fact, I'm going to step to it. Like I said, if I see someone being racist, I'm going to go and step to it. But if it's 100 of them or 1,000 of them in a chat being a big idiot, a big conglomerate idiot, then, when you finish wetting your pants, when you've pulled your pants back up, when you've grown up, when you can have a conversation, we can join in. And if you want to hurt me with like real grown-up things, then fine, we can go. Because again, that doesn't really hurt me. But there have been some pretty... I remember once I had some pretty severe... when I say severe, I mean, we're not just saying mean things anymore. We're saying like serious personal things, and the encouragement to commit suicide. That was one that I found particularly distasteful. The encouragement, like, why don't you kill yourself? You should kill yourself. You are a bad person. You should kill, that sort of thing. I had all that trolling myself, didn't I? But whilst I felt sad about it because I felt it's sad that exists in the world, even though it was personally directed at me, I didn't then knock on and say, I feel sad me. They're being mean to me and I'm going to let that break my heart. Because the person that's doing it is not worthy of my time or my respect. And I know that because they're waving that idiot flag. I know it. If their opinion, if it was someone whose opinion I valued, then it would hurt me. I'd rather be insulted by someone that I respect, is a good line from a song that I've heard. That's Helmet that wrote that. I'd rather be insulted by someone that I respect. If you were hate mobbed, you could talk about bullying, how it happens to everyone, and suffer a mental chapter. Yeah, exactly. I could use it as a turning point to bring up a lot of those ideas. And you know what? I guarantee about 50 to 80% of those people, you don't end up being a bully unless you get bullied, do you? You don't wake up one day and think, I want to be mean to everyone, unless someone's been mean to you. So I bet it would touch base as well with the hate mobs, wouldn't it? You insult me, invitation accepted. Do you know what? Yes, you can, because you're more of a friend than most. So the more friendly you are with me, the more you can insult me, can't you? Really? That's the way. I'm sure you have friends like that. My sister and her friends call each other the worst names under the sun because they're the closest friends. Does that make sense? I think there's a bit of that goes on. But at the same time, after a bit of joshing, I do like to sometimes say, I don't really mean that, I don't really mean that. I actually like you. Just to make sure they didn't take it to heart too much. But quite often I've been called the C word by my friends. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's hate mobs. Yeah, they're silly. Like I said, it's weird, isn't it? I should be like angry, but I'm not. Because something's silly, I find it hard to get up for a fight with it, because it's smaller than us, because it's weaker than us, because it's asinine and childish. I feel like I should be kinder to those people, because they're sort of it's going to take them longer to catch up. They're not quite up to date with things yet, are they? They're not quite. They've been given all the same information as we have, but for some reason they've read it a bit. They've got a bit confused. And if you're in class, I remember this. If you're in class and you're doing the lessons, today's lesson, and someone's struggling with it and finding it hard to understand it. Let's say it's maths. Let's say it's fractions or something. You don't sit there and go, look at you, you thickie, you don't understand it, dummy. Well, I can do fractions, aren't you stupid? You don't do that. I used to sometimes think, like, how do I put this? That it was a shame that we were all lumped together, and that I found things... I used to sometimes feel guilty about finding things easier than some other people, in that, like, I don't want to be there, like, just answered all 10 out of 10, finished, and next to me, someone's like, oh, I'm really struggling with this. I felt like embarrassed or ashamed that I was, like, by me being good at something, it made them look bad. You know, I do think that some sort of streaming in schools helps in ways, right? And then we have to wait for them to learn it and catch up and to figure it out. But it was good in a way because I saw this whole process. I didn't just fly off ahead and ignore the other people. And I actually helped some people with, what do you think if you carry this one? Yeah, I know I thought that too, but the way I remember it is, you know, those sort of things. You know, when someone's struggling with an intellectual concept, you don't sort of bully them for it, do you? You don't be mean back to them. And when I see these ideas, I mean, vaccination is a really good way of framing this, because it's not as personal as racism. But when someone says something silly about a vaccine, one of my friends has said they didn't want to take the vaccine because it hadn't been tried and tested. And I thought, well, that's silly, isn't it? Because that's like saying I'm not going to buy a new car because it hasn't been tried and tested. Only the engine and the wheels and the principle has been tested, but not the car. Putting it all together as a new car, no. Not until they've driven that for 6-10 years at least will I drive that. No, that's silly. Of course you drive the new car. They're reasonably tested. They do the crash tests in the lab, don't they? And then they put them on sale. They don't have months and years of tests to make sure that... And then they do kill people and you still drive them. So anyway, yeah, nice to see you here, Capital K. Sorry, I've been ranted at the end. This is the end of our little driving broadcast anyway. I'm going to come back on in a minute later to do the actual driving, but we've gone into a lovely ramble that I'm enjoying. So those people, those ignorant racists, those people who've got the wrong idea, those people who have you know, like I'm saying, you can't avoid, often they're the people that you take them to the Mexican fiesta marketplace and they enjoy themselves and actually enjoy the food and like the people and say, you know, I'm still racist against Mexicans, I still think they shouldn't come across the border, but the ones I know down the road, my neighbours are all right. You know, they end up with these funny, like, can't quite work it out in my head things, the same way as the people who are like, you know, I love animals but I'm still going to kill them and eat them, you know, those sort of and eventually they grow out of it and stop being so racist, I think. And I think if we can turn to the people who are doing the hate mobbing and the, you know, ignorance and the rudeness and sort of say, hang on, look, I think you might have got the wrong end of the stick here. Is there another way of us talking about this? Is there another way of us explaining this? Do you want to come and experience something different? Maybe, you know, I think maybe we could not fix it all, but we could approach it on those lines, because having a fight with them will not win, will not work. Arguing and there's no silly comment chain that's going to turn into me exploring social dynamics of, you know, these people aren't really deep-seated hate people, are they? They're just looking for a reaction, aren't they? They're just trying to be... You can't all be... It's just a little pile-on, isn't it? It's just a little bandwagon. You can't all be that bad. You can't all be that bad. But some of them have got involved, got mixed up in it and run along with it. And then maybe if you start pulling those off, don't pull them off. I mean, like, removing them, taking them away, and you get down to the core group. Maybe there's one or two that's really, you know, deep down, you know, driving this and being really mean down there. Or maybe they themselves were caught up and brought along by somebody else who is no longer in the group because they've moved on. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think we shouldn't go too hell for leather about worrying too much about that. And yes, it absolutely needs to be tackled, and yes, it absolutely needs to be sorted. And I know I've not been the victim of it here, so I can't speak from that experience, but I have been the victim of quite rude, mean trolling in the past, and I can speak from that experience. And I just think that you know, with Twitch are not quick to sort out the sexual content on the website, are they? They've not managed to curate the ASMR on the website, have they? So do you expect them to be able to sort out a load of kids in chat? Because all that loads of kids in chat is what drives the whole website. So I don't know. Yeah, might be saying the wrong thing here. Might be underestimating things. Might not be seeing the full story. So I'll be open-minded to being explained to, and, you know, to exploring this further in the future if more things come up. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what I'm certainly not doing is I'm certainly not devaluing anyone's feelings of suffering if they are exposed to racism. You know, if someone feels it's bad, and Scotty Hottie thinks it's just nonsense, so it's just silly, that is being what's the word? It's, you know, I'm not being respectful of other people's feelings and thoughts. If they feel it's really bad, then we should take it on as if, not take it on as if it's really bad, but we should understand that they feel it's really bad and treat things with certain elements of seriousness. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to sweep this away or to say it's something that it's not. A cat again. Oh, come on. Come and be on the telly. All right, don't then. The window's open, so you can go in and out the window. I'm not trying to undermine it or devalue it in that sense. And at the same, I think this is really important. I say this as well. I'm slightly mixed race, so I get to talk on these subjects, but I'm also slightly more white looking, aren't I, really? So most people would think, oh, how do you talk about this as a white person from Britain when you don't have to suffer the things that most of us do? So I get that as well. Just trying to be fair, aren't I? Just trying to be fair. All right. But that bad racism is bad, and it's one of the worst things in society, and it leads to lots of bad things. And like I said, I don't think people are deep down racist. I think they're just deep down confused, if anything. And that when you actually go out and see the world, travel, meeting people, it opens your eyes. And it's silly to be racist and bigoted like that, because you've missed out on all the joy, haven't you? So I think that deep down, you're human. So when you do these things and you meet these people and you enjoy yourself, you go, should have maybe that political stuff isn't my heart, isn't my heart. Yeah. No, certainly not mine anyway. Right. I have to get off now because I've got to feed the doggy, and then I'm going to come back on and drive the bus for you a few times this week. A few more times. We'll see how it goes. You be good, my little pukas. If you can't be good, then you're going to stay on this bus forever.